Is this too loud?
No, I think it's all right.
No, this is good.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the one that...
Are we recording? Is this live?
Yeah, we are.
All right, let's go.
Did you listen to the one I just posted?
No.
Okay, so I gave people a little rundown of like what happened.
Catastrophic failure.
It was catastrophic. This meteor came hurling out of the sky while we were recording here and devastated the apartment building that I was living in, and the files were gone.
Yeah.
That's what I said in the podcast me and Lisa just did.
Yeah, no, it was... You guys should have seen it.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was super butthurt about it. So now we're back in a new apartment. I moved all of my shit and got a laptop, and now we're recording this again.
All right. And you have new software? Is this new software?
This is not. So, well, I do have new software. I don't know how to use it well yet.
Okay.
Which is, I bought a new podcasting program called Hindenburg. Right now I use FL Studio. It's a digital audio workshop for like producers, like music, right?
Isn't that what Carnage got started on?
Carnage, yeah. Hobson, also. A lot of EDM artists like use FL Studio. But I just know how to work it. I don't like Ableton or Logic, which is another couple popular DAWs, they're called. But I looked into one called Hindenburg, which costs a little more money, but it's everything you need to be a podcaster. Something's wrong with the interface that I have, so audio mumbo jumbo, like it's just not picking up my mics for some reason. So for now, we're just going to use FL Studio again. Me and Lisa used it when we recorded ours on Sunday.
Okay. And what did you guys talk about? I haven't had a chance to look at that one yet.
We talked about the educational system.
She's in it.
She is in it.
Deep in it.
She's gonna be in it. Well, she did her student teaching down there too. So she's obviously trying to get a job for the fall. Yeah, she's got some opinions on the educational system, obviously. Yeah. But
should I ask her about it?
Yeah, you can definitely.
Next time I see her?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah,
she's got a strong opinion about it. It's a good opinion though. Like obviously, like things need to be changed. We talked about that. The podcast that I just put out was just called Old as Fuck or Old AF.
Oh, God.
Because
my knee can feel that.
Well, I mean, we're not so old and jaded yet. Our bodies may be breaking down. Yeah. The issue, we came up with the antagonist of why the school systems suck is because of old people. Yeah. It's just the older people running the schools.
That's companies, too.
So that's also what we said. We're like, oh,
this kind of
through all the industries, right? So basically labeled old people as the antagonist to all the problems we're going through right now. Obviously, I'm going to elaborate on that in all the podcasts to come. But you see, there are good old people. I'm going to just say this before we get into this. I'm going to say this, okay? I don't hate old people.
That's good.
We wouldn't be here today if it weren't for old people, right? Yeah. The generations who came before us. We wouldn't have technology. I wouldn't have this phone if it weren't for somebody who's old. Right. Right? I wouldn't have all this technology, wouldn't have all this infrastructure. We wouldn't be where we are today. But they're not
deep breath.
They're not giving the reins up.
Yeah. Okay? That seems to like historically always be like the power struggle.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to be an issue with our generation, though. I
hope not.
Because our generation, we were brought up with technology. We're a little more open. Yeah. I'm going to be honest, like by the time I'm like 60, I'm not going to be such a control freak where I'm not going to let these youngins hold power and ruin the system we built. Like,
I don't know. Maybe we'll be complaining about VR, though. Maybe we'll have like... Maybe we'll be like, these damn kids won't come out of their pods. Like,
bro, I'm going to be in there.
We're going to be in there virtually complaining about the virtual.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe. Oh, my God.
Do you tell me in 30 years they're going to make a VR world for Pokemon? I'm going in there. Living in there, you know.
Dude, if they make pods where you can, like, hook up IVs to it, and just like,
live there,
just not leave.
Dangerous. What was that one movie that we saw in high school? What was it
called?
Surrogate. Yeah. Was that with Ben Willis?
Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Bruce Willie.
Yeah.
What a guy.
B-dubs.
Yeah, B-dubs.
Yeah, they got like high in that movie by like electrocuting their surrogates. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that happening.
That was a crazy movie. So they went into a virtual world to get high in a virtual world. It's just like,
because it wasn't good enough in the body they already had.
yeah, it's like, okay, come on. Like,
it's kind of creative, though.
Yeah.
Movie was a little ridiculous. Well, who else was in that? Russell Crowe?
No, it was just Bruce Willis. It was Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis was the main one.
Okay.
We're looking it up. Surrogates. Because at the end, he like comes out, spoilers, he comes out of the pod and he has the opportunity to like shut down the whole program.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
if
yeah.
I remember correctly. Anybody listening, if I'm wrong, please be gentle.
Be gentle. Yeah, I just got a bone to pick with old people.
Yeah.
You know.
But they were once young. They were once us.
Yeah.
I do see what you're saying, though. It seems like there's a... Maybe we'll have an opportunity to have a closer, I guess, like, understanding.
Okay, well, you're a finance guy. Let me run this past you, okay?
I was, yes.
Yeah, so Sean gave me a statistic. I'm not going to fact check it right now, but I don't need to fact check it because it makes sense to me, right? It doesn't have to be exact, but when our parents' generation were our age, their generation owned more of the wealth.
Oh, yes.
You know, than our generation does
that's
today.
like known, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? So...
yeah, it hasn't scaled.
It hasn't scaled, but to say that our generation doesn't have as much power as the generations before us had at our age, that's an accurate statement, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, because ownership of capital is
power.
Is power.
Exactly.
Because ownership of capital is influence, and influence is
exactly
power. That's power.
So, yeah. But as our generation comes into more money, capital, assets, things like that, like people in our generation, the millennials, start owning more corporations, start getting more positions as judges, legislators, all that stuff. Like we start to permeate a little bit more. Obviously, it's going to take us a little longer to start like families and stuff because of the student loan crisis. Like these are all well-known things, right? Yep. So when that time does come, I believe that the millennials will be more open to changing things, obviously, right? Because we're just way more open than the Gen X generation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we realize, me and Lisa talked about just some of the things that would be wrong with the educational system or things that need to be changed, right?
Right.
So the educational system in the 21st century is not tailored to deal with the kids of today.
No, it's not.
They're completely different. These kids are completely different than the system that was made 50 to 60 years ago to teach them.
It's made
right?
200 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So it can't be done, right? But from what she was telling me, the reason why changes aren't being implemented is because of the older people.
The olds
that they don't do well with change. I don't blame them. If someone came in and I was like 60 trying to tell me how to do my job, I'd probably be pretty fucking mad.
Yeah, and and we kind of touched on this the last time before the meteor showed up and destroyed the beautiful... We saved the youth, by the way, for everybody that's listening. Like we had figured it out, and now it's gone. We have to do it over again. So
but we saved the youth, though.
We did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like because they didn't. So one of the things that I think makes the generation so different, and why I don't think it's the same as it has been in the past, is like there's one thing to like change with technology, and then there's like understanding that like you can teach somebody like how to use a phone that they have and that they're holding in their hand. Yeah. Right. But to get somebody to understand the concept of constant change and to like approach problems with like, I don't need to know exactly how to figure this out. I just need to like develop the confidence to be able to solve problems on the fly
and to be able to change.
Yes. So like that is like a noticeable difference between people our age and younger and older generations, is like they need like explicit instructions for how to handle specific situations and work with like stuff and life problems. And like like when I go into problems, I go in like understanding that like I know probably nothing. Like if I went to go buy a new phone, I wouldn't just know where stuff is. I'd have to I'm gonna have to play around with this, figure out, where it is, and
of course,
learn how it works.
But you're gonna learn by firsthand experience.
Yeah.
You're also gonna watch videos and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
You're not gonna.
And I actually explicitly explain this to my parents maybe a couple months ago of especially in work, the world that there's not a rubric for how to do everything.
No.
Anymore, especially when working with technology. You have to approach problems as I'm confident that I will be able to figure this out,
even if I don't know shit.
Even if I don't know anything.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a certain sense of humility too.
Yes, but in the world of technology, in the technology industry, I work with data, and one of the issues with this is there's constantly new tools and technology and languages that are coming out.
Yeah, being invented.
Yeah, so working in the field, you constantly you have to understand that you have to constantly be learning something new.
Yeah, or you'll become outdated.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll become.
Yes, but nobody's. With my parents, it's it's they learned how to mail letters, and that's how they pay bills. That's how they learned how to do that.
Yeah, of course.
But to learn how to use a new application on their phone in order to accomplish the same goals but better and faster, Venmo or something, is
they need instructions.
They need instructions.
Yeah,
and it's no, the world doesn't exist this way anymore, where you just there's instructions for how to do everything. You have to
it's almost imply that you should know how to download the app.
Yes.
Set up an account, enter your information, your banking information, set up auto pay.
Yes. There's a new baseline of what you need to be able to do
for knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's a crazy concept, because you're saying that there's a baseline for knowledge on how to use technology, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's a crazy thing. There's one of my clients had to fire somebody. Okay. I was like, oh, what happened? Why are you going to fire them? And the owner was like, oh, well, she didn't know how to make change. She had to ask one of the other people who worked there how to make 22 cents of change. And then she said, yeah, she can't sort or alphabetize things either.
Yeah, that's but how old is this person?
In their 20s.
Yikes.
But it's you should be able to read and count. That's baseline.
Yeah,
And
that's a failure of.
But if you have a learning disability, but if you have a learning disability, I don't think that person did, though.
Okay.
Because I think
we're right. We're evaluating somebody that that should know how to.
We're evaluating somebody who probably just went on autopilot during grade school.
Oh, right. That's bad teachers.
That is bad teachers too. Yeah, exactly. So now we're full circle. We just talked about the failing educational system.
Past them. Montessori.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's a baseline knowledge now. It's not 100 to 200 years ago where it's only a small percentage of people know how to read and write.
Yeah.
Right? It's you need to know how to read and write, and you need to know how to work a smartphone. Mm-hmm. That's baseline knowledge in the year 2022 now.
Yes.
Right? And me and Lisa were also talking about other things with technology, because, before the meteor hit, we were also talking about technology.
Yes,
these kids, or people in general, were overwhelmed by the amount of data.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. There's just so much out there. But we were talking all these kids want to be everything, right? On their phones or everything, you can see videos of people doing everything.
Yeah.
Right?
TikToks and stuff?
TikToks, or just YouTube.
Yeah.
Or just anything in general. So we're raising the kids, our generation and the generations to come, to be very open to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this 5-year-old's just already okay with new information.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how they handle the new information, that's another thing. The older generations take the new information and they're closed off to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Or it's overwhelming, yeah.
It's overwhelming for them in a way where they close it out. The new generation is very open to it, but I feel in a sense if you overload a human's imagination, you can also hold them up. You know what I mean? Like if you give somebody too many options, they're not going to know what to do with themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like an observed, I forgot what the actual term is, but yeah, when it's like paralysis from too many options.
Yeah.
And then the option you do choose, like you don't get as much enjoyment out of it because
you just wasted all that energy.
Yeah. Well,
choosing.
It's like diminished. The quality of what that you've chosen is diminished because of like the opportunity cost that you've spent from all the other options.
Yes.
Whereas like, all right, you got 2 movies, pick one. When you're like a child, you're like that one, and then you like watch it 3 times, and it's like,
it's great.
Oh, this movie's great, but like the movie actually objectively like sucks.
Yeah, but you got to make that decision point blank. Yeah, you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Now you hand a kid like 15 movies on a Netflix screen.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, pick one.
Yeah, I've got like 4 streaming services, and it's like.
It's endless.
It's
though.
not. Yeah, it's not.
It's too much though. No. But yeah, we basically just like centered around obviously like education, the older generations, technology.
Yep.
Like pretty much some standard topics. You know.
I will hand it to a lot of people too, though. That in older, like I've seen a lot of effort put into like trying to figure it out. So there's some out there that are like.
So.
But it is like we don't understand. we maybe it's taking for granted, but we don't understand the level at which we're able to operate until you like see somebody from a completely different era
trying to do that.
Yeah. Like, but here's another example too. So like my dad knows how to like fix things on cars.
Yeah.
And like I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, like I can do stuff that I could like learn on YouTube, like that I can do quickly, but like he can change brakes. So like I haven't needed to like know any of that.
No. But you pay somebody to do that.
I'm just going to pay somebody to do that.
Exactly. The positive, how we ended the podcast, like I ripped on old people. Well, we ripped on old people.
Yeah. Team effort.
There's something about the older generation though, like, well, we were talking about like a set path, like older people were just told to do things. Like, hey, do this. Family, kids, school.
Yeah, there was a rubric.
Bang, boom. There's a rubric, right? Undying work ethic. Like that my parents.
A little brainwashed, yeah.
Well, I'm not even like brainwashed, but like just fucking flat out like work ethic. Like those motherfuckers can work. Like my mom and dad, like they'll fucking work, right? And they'll work their ass off, you know?
Yeah.
That's like a positive thing. Unfortunately, I feel like it's made them a little emotionally detached. Yeah. You know, because they've worked like that for 40, 50 years.
Yes.
You know?
Well, yeah, and yes. And like automating, making work easier is like not like they'll work very hard at something very inefficient and like not think twice about it.
Yes, of course.
And it's like
it could have been done easier.
Yeah.
Now, to take that work ethic though and translate it into innovation
or like automating and like building.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like that's what I do for my job.
But that's productive, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Now taking that undying work ethic and then channeling it in a positive, efficient manner, right? That's obviously what I hope to do. Like if I'm not taking the religion my parents instilled in me or the politics, like I'm definitely taking their work ethic.
Oh yeah. Same. You know? Yeah, same. I mean, I've gotten a tremendous amount of incredibly like useful
qualities.
Yes, yeah, I mean, yeah, like, and your parents too. Like, so one of the things, so like work ethic, and here's the other thing about work ethic too, is like, in order, like, you can explain work ethic to someone, but like, if you like, let's take somebody that's in like lower income, so to like explain to a kid like you need to work very hard, and then watch your parent work very hard, and then they don't benefit from it, like. There's no reinforcement of like incentive to do that. Yes. Right. So like our parents worked hard and we were able to see the benefits of doing that. And it's like, okay, yeah, logically, like that logically makes sense. And I'm also seeing that it actually does lead to tangible examples.
Like positive things. Yes.
So not only did they like explain it, the point I'm trying to make here is like they've done a great job handing that off, because you can't just say it to someone. You have to also demonstrate.
You have to show them.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, well, obviously, like you can have somebody who works, like a single mother that works 60, 80 hours a week, right? Who doesn't get to spend time with her kids because she's working, works her ass off, work ethic. The kids don't see her though, right? So that doesn't translate to them.
Yeah.
Or a lower income family that works really hard, doesn't know how to spend their money or save it, right? So you don't see the positive things.
Financial literacy,
Exactly, you know. But now we're in a day and age, and this will just always come back to like full circle with technology. There's no excuse anymore, in my opinion, for not being able to learn something, because on this phone right here, if you want to go on YouTube and spend a couple hours just watching somebody tell you about how to save money and how to spend it efficiently, you can, right?
It's true.
Like, there's really no, and I can't say this like I'm perfect. Like, I have a credit card. I spend money.
Oh yeah,
right. You know,
you have to.
Exactly. But I'm still able to save a little bit, pay all of my bills.
Yeah.
You know, I don't make a fuck ton of money. You know, I don't. Like, I got a philosophy degree, right? And I do bookkeeping. Like, just put that together.
No, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, but I literally, out of like necessity, I got rid of all of my most dangerous, expensive habits.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, my most expensive habit at this point is my food. Right?
For sure.
Exactly.
That's a variable. Yeah, for sure.
Now, everything else on top of that, I get to use for vacations here or there, like dreams, all this other like stuff. Like, but it was guitar. You're just, it's taking a step back and being able to use the technology to learn. Right.
Yep.
So that work ethic that our parents were able to translate, and like, even though my parents owned a business, right? The tuxedo business.
Yep.
And both of your parents worked jobs. Like, we didn't come from like super wealthy families. No, not at all. But it was how they taught us, you know? And that was also a topic that me and Lisa talked about. It was like, there's a disconnect between these older generations and the younger ones. Yeah. The younger ones don't want to learn the way the older ones want them.
Well, and they're not going to. Like, they're not going to. Like, this is so I deal with this at work. This is showing up at work. So I'll talk about, I guess this might be a good thing to lead into like some of the stuff I talked about in like my master's program.
For sure.
So what's happened and the Great Resignation. So I guess we'll kind of talk about that too. So like work life. So like what's basically happened is like over time, companies have not, like, there used to be pensions, right? There, like, my uncle retired at like 50, 51, and he had a pension from GM. And so he worked from the time he was like 20 until like 50 and then retired. But he worked at GM for that like long ass period of time and got this pension. So, but that world of like, you work at the same place for a long period of time and then you get like rewarded, that like doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And so what's happened is the like loyalty to an employer has completely like gone out the window.
Yeah, it's gone.
Right. And some places are better than others. So like I work somewhere where it's like pretty good. The loyalty thing's pretty good. But a lot of places, what's happened is people are no longer sticking with companies. They're jumping from company to company because, and one of the things that this is unfortunately like a true statistic is between 3 to 5 years, if you've been at the same company doing like a similar job, what the salary for that is in the market is now beyond what you make.
Yeah, of course.
Right. But not by a small amount either.
Yeah. But that's just like a corporation trying to cut corners to save money on somebody who already knows how to do that task.
Yes. And it's easy to think about it like as if there's a guiding hand or like somebody's trying to hold people back, but it's more of just like, it's just what happens.
Well, it's comfort if people stay at the same thing.
Yeah. Well, and bosses, like, there's not like giving people, like right now, for example, we're probably in a recession right now.
Yes.
So we're dealing with really high inflation right now. Like, companies are not just bumping everybody's salaries up to keep up with inflation.
No.
Right?
They're doing it to keep the fucking employees.
Yes, but what's happened, and with the Great Resignation, is that people are starting to, they're leaving jobs. They're like leaving their jobs to get like better paying jobs doing basically the same thing. But what's stupid and what's happened is these companies are like losing people.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get more money. But then to replace that person, they now have to hire almost at the rate they lost the person for that they left to get, right?
Of course.
So it's like, what I'm curious to see is in the future, are companies going to be able to like continue scaling with market rates? Because at some point, like because turnover sucks and turnover is very expensive.
Oh yeah, it is.
So it's like in companies' best interest to not lose people, especially not lose good people.
I think that it's all going to come down to not overworking people.
Yeah. And that's changing too.
That is. So the model that's happened over in Europe and in other countries, the 4-day work week,
oh my God,
fucking genius, right? And that's slowly but surely coming over here as well. Granted, like I kind of have that right now, but I take my 5th day and I work at the tuck shop.
Right, just to make more money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, because we've already talked about the student loan thing, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But if I didn't have now say
federal ones are in forbearance, right? Are you
no, I don't have them anymore. No, I refinanced all of them. But I got low ass fucking rates.
Yeah, I'm waiting to refinance once they like I have to start paying them.
Okay, for sure. Well, originally I did it with the intention that's like they're going to go into effect May 31st,
yep.
right? So I had done everything in April, right? Mm-hmm. And the only reason I figured
and then they pushed it. And you're like,
they pushed it again. I've already faced that demon. All right, I've already faced it. Whatever, dude. You know, but I got really low rates.
Yeah.
And now with inflation and things happening the way they are, the interest rates on things are going up. Mm-hmm. Right. So like to get an interest rate on a refinance for a loan now compared to when I did it in April, like it's going to be a little higher right now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I ended up paying for 4 months of interest on a loan, you know, but you know, I just took it. It was there.
It's fine. If we get another one,
they might.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I'm hoping Joe Biden is going to be like, here's $10,000.
I wish.
And I'll go, thank you, Joe Biden.
Well, thank you, Sleepy Joe.
Thank God you lived long enough for this to happen.
I mean, I hope that happens.
Yeah, we'll see though. It may only apply to Fed. There's so many rules. There's like no way it's going to happen.
No, there's no way. I mean, if anything, I can see them doing a really big tax refund.
Maybe.
Or just like here's the thing. If like instead of giving people like $10,000 off their loan, federal or private, mm-hmm. right? Or some shit like that, if they could just like maybe take away 10 grand from like taxable income or something.
Yeah.
You know, like just a little boost.
I mean, either way they're paying for it though.
Yeah, I understand that, but kind of to get around the whole private federal loan difference, because that's a huge thing. Because here's the thing, if it only goes to the federal loans, the people with the private loans are going to be pissed.
Like you're
I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I'm gonna be fucking mad, dude. Which is all right. I've got enough things to be mad about, you know.
Gonna show up at the White House like, excuse me, I would like my $10,000, please.
Man,
get tackled on the lawn.
I've got so many reasons to be on that lawn, but I'm not. So yet, protesting.
That's another thing. Having 18-year-olds sign off on like, yes, I will borrow $100,000.
Crazy, unreal,
and I will learn about English.
It's wild. It's fucking crazy that they even allow people to do that. At the age of 18, you can literally take out a mortgage on your life.
It's crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
I mean, the statistics are that it like you do make more. It's like known, but the price of college is crazy high.
It's went too high.
It's like when will it stop climbing?
And here's the thing, it's like, yeah, it's worth it, but like for the years you're done learning, so you already got to go to school for 4 years in college, 4 or 5 years. Yeah. So you've already got to put in that work. Then for the next 15 years after that, you have to kind of live like below your means, right? And then you're like, all right, now I get to live above my means, right? Yeah. After you put in the work for 20 years, right?
Yeah. Or that's the old rubric.
That is the old rubric.
The old.
But we need to change that.
Yeah. Because happiness isn't like that achievable, like after I work so long and I have no loans and shit, like then things will be cool.
No, it's something you have to do like now.
Yeah, it's like
it's a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that chasing like after like now we're segueing into a completely different topic, but I think like happiness isn't something like I really want to chase anymore. It's more like fulfillment.
Yes.
You know, like just a well-being, and you know, because like happiness is great. I feel it as it comes into me. You know, it's the same thing with sadness though, but
yeah, it's not permanent.
It's not permanent. I don't latch onto it. If there's anything, because I'm listening to this audiobook called The Power of Now, right? So it's kind of some hippie stuff, like spiritual, living in the moment, not the past or the present or the future type of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what I'm halfway through it. That's just kind of what
it's good.
Yeah. It's a good book. It's probably like 7 hours on an audiobook. So I'm like 4 hours in right now.
Okay.
It's some thick stuff though. Like I can only listen to like 20 minutes before I have to turn it off and like think about my life. Whoa. Yeah, I'm like, whoa, that fucking rocked me. You know,
I need to really get into washing these dishes. Like,
yeah, or I just like go stand outside and like stare at the sunset. Like I'm alive.
Yeah. No, I have been. Okay, it's funny you bring that up because I watched something the other day that was like it was a YouTube video talking about this concept of like, and what the person was saying was like. Anxiety is like mentally being ahead, and like regret is looking behind you.
Yeah.
And like anything you do right now, you don't have those like negative emotions tied to like the now moment.
No, you don't.
It's just happening now, and it is. And like that's where like peace and like fulfillment, like
that's where it is.
That's where it is.
Yeah. And in the future, so the anxiety that can also cause like worry, right?
Yep.
Like, yeah, you can daydream about the future, like how you just said, like happiness isn't like some goal like, oh, 20 30 years from now I'm not going to have my loans. That's not how it is, because now you have that fantasy 30 years in the future, and now you're literally going to worry about how you're going to get there, instead of just like living like right now.
Well, and then if you get there will always be like another there,
of course,
to get to, like there it's like
you're going to diminish how good it feels by ruining the thought all the way up until then.
Yeah. Like when I was an undergrad, I was like, my God, cannot wait
to be done.
Like bliss awaits me when I never have to take another class again. And then it's like, well, now you have to get a job. And it's like, fuck, when I get a job, bliss will just fall from the sky. And then you get a job and it's like, well, now you have to work all the time.
And then
it's like, well, and you should probably go back to school. It's like, and now it's like,
so it never ends.
Yeah, and you should like make more money because like everything costs more constantly.
So you have these worries about the future.
It literally never ends.
No, it doesn't.
Like it just goes forever
until you take hold of the moment and you just like seize it. You just live in it at that point. You know,
like we're just in a room doing a podcast.
Exactly.
Like,
or like I went on a walk before you got here.
Oh yeah, I did too.
God, it was nice.
I was like, oh, we should do 7 because I knew I'd get home at like 5.
I was actually like thinking at 4 to like call you up and be like, yo, we should do 8. But then I was literally gonna go run like basketball for like 2 hours, but I didn't do that.
Like, dude, I want to hoop.
I want to hoop really bad.
Dude, I want to hoop.
I know you do. Hooping. You gotta fix that.
I need to go to the doctor.
Yeah, you do.
And then I need to be in the moment with the doctor.
And be like, listen, you have to fix this because my knee fucking hurts.
Yeah. I'll be like, listen, there was someone of large stature who walked up the stairs equally as fast as me today.
And they'll be like, wow, that was really perceptive of you.
Yes. I was in the moment in that moment, and it was not a fun moment.
And I would like to never be in that moment.
I'd like to not struggle with stairs like this.
I used to get that going up and down these stairs with my knee.
Dude,
yeah, I had to waddle the day after like playing basketball really hard.
How'd you solve that?
Like
stretching,
bro, dead ass. I'm telling you, like I put all of those insoles in like all of my shoes. Yeah. I also bought new shoes for just like walking around in. And I put those insoles in my basketball shoes. And it's that knee brace I told you about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And the stretching, obviously. There's just a lot of things I had to do, you know?
Yeah.
And icing it, obviously. I started taking, Epsom
salt?
Epsom salt baths.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit rocks. That's only when when I'm hurting real bad.
Real bad?
Like,
does it swell?
No, it gets red right at the patellar tendon. Yeah. And it does hurt a little bit. It doesn't actually, like, the skin gets raised right there, so I guess it would swell. Yeah. But it's like the tendon that swells, not like my actual knee.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think mine is. I think I might have actually I might have a tear. This has been an issue for like the whole year.
Yeah, you might. Well, there was that time. Remember, I had to take like 6 weeks off.
Yeah.
Remember when me, you, and Z were like starting to play, and then I told you, I'm like, I got.
Yeah, you're like, dude. Yeah, no, I got it. I can't.
Yeah.
I feel. What'd you say? You were like, my shin is going to explode.
I was like, dude, I think my.
You're like, I jump and it's gonna break.
I thought my tibia was gonna snap, dude. Like my fucking leg. I thought I was gonna come down from jumping, and then my leg would just. Yeah, so we fixed that, thankfully.
Yeah. No, when I first started, I don't even remember when it first started. It was just kind of all of a sudden. And I think it was from like distance running. I think I just like ran too much, too often.
Yeah.
And then now like I just cannot get rid of this.
That's what happened to my foot too.
It's stupid.
Yeah. Well, it's getting old, you know.
Yeah.
I'm all right getting old with wisdom and knowledge, not
I don't want to physically get
not
old.
my body deteriorating. I'm not about it.
No, it's I would like to trade something else in for getting it. Like I don't know what I would give up.
How about this? Would you ever trade your full head of hair for anything? Like something like that?
I don't know.
Would you have
I don't know. So I want to keep my hair.
Me too. Male pattern baldness is a problem.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It happens to most men. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it's the rate's actually been increasing over the years.
Yeah,
Now, what if you gave up your full head of hair and your body aged just a little bit slower, or it was more ready for injury?
So I could make it to like 150, basically.
How about this? You lose your full head of hair right now. You're 29.
Okay.
And your body goes back to where it was when it was 19. But you're 29. And now that's you for the rest of your life, but no hair.
Well, but I don't know. Maybe like am I about to fall down the hill of injuries? Like,
I don't know.
Is this the beginning, or is this just like a really bad?
I mean, we're 29.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, like, okay, it's my knee now, but like, is it going to be my shoulder in 3 months? Like,
is it your back?
Like,
you slip a disc?
Am I literally about to like fall down the stairs?
But you don't know. But you don't know that. That's why I'm asking you this question.
That's why it's hard to answer that question.
You don't get to know that though. You don't get to know that. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Yes.
Yeah, I think I would take it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, because it's not even that bad. Honestly, I think the hardest thing about like, because like I don't have the hairline I used to have, but like I still have like my hair.
Yeah.
Right. But like, I mean, having a 15-year-old hairline would be like fantastic. It'd be like, it'd be super cool.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have any gray hair, but like, I think from talking to people and friends that I know that don't have hair.
Yeah.
The hardest part's just like getting over it.
Yeah, of course.
And then like we'll take. Like it's like the friends that I have that I never knew them with hair, like I like don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So like I don't even know them before hair, so like it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like you just got to get through like the first getting used to the new, because it's a forced physical change. Like we're changing physically like all the time.
Now, I didn't say you don't have facial hair. So here's the thing.
Okay.
Get really shredded, bald head, still facial hair.
I don't know.
That's the only way you can rock it.
I think I look good just with a little bit of stubble.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. I'm not just talking
or clean
like
shaved, yeah.
Yeah, or clean shaved. But like, I feel like if you're gonna go no hair on top, you got to just know how to rock it.
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, I'll take it. Like, I love my fucking hair, but you know, as long as my body's 10 years younger, I'll take it. You know.
Yeah.
And I think
I've never buzzed my head in my life either, so I have no idea like how that looks.
I've done it.
So it's super scary.
It's freeing.
It's really scary.
It's crazy. You literally wake up and you're like, wow, I don't have to worry about my hair being all over the place, you know? And also, like, you're in the shower, like nothing.
Nice.
Great. Yeah, it's super easy. I love how we talk about like wanting to be younger, you know, but
as 29-year-olds,
as 29-year-olds, as I'm sitting here.
But people are starting to say shit like, I'm starting to not be the youngest one in like crowds that I'm in, and it is weird. I have a coworker that's like just turned 21
when people call
a month ago.
People call me sir, I'm like, fuck.
Oh yeah.
Kids call me sir, that I help them in their prom tuxedos, like if I'm fitting at the tuck shop, and they go, thank you, sir, and they leave, and I'm like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
Don't say that. Like, damn.
And then I'm like covered in tattoos with like facial hair. I like look like I'm old.
Oh my god. Well, it's Juul's the worst offender because they employ like 16-year-old kids, and you're there, and it's like, I used to be you.
Yeah, right. I used to.
I remember the angst.
I used to have a baby face, and then I did drugs and smoked for 12 years and got a bunch of tattoos.
That's fine.
I'm all right with it.
No, you look fine. No, aging sucks.
I'm all right with it.
But this, okay, so we covered this before the giant meteor of like approaching aging gracefully instead of like fighting it.
Yes. I think by us answering that question of getting rid of our hair to have younger bodies, I don't know if that's aging gracefully. I think we're just trying to hold on to we're doing the opposite. It's okay.
Despite
we're not perfect.
Yeah, despite what we just talked about.
Exactly. But but we know what we need to work towards.
If the genie showed up and said, "Do you want it?"
I'll take it.
I'd be like,
yeah, I'll take it, dude.
Yeah.
That's like 10 whole years.
That's a long time, but it doesn't feel that long. Like 19.
But it is.
But it is.
Yeah, it is. I'll take it. Because that's like 10 years of like also, because
then I'd have to get a fake ID.
What do you mean?
I'd be 19.
No, I'm saying you would have that body, but you would still be age. 29.
Got it.
Yeah,
okay.
But no hair.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Still.
I think people would believe my ID still.
For sure.
No. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Yeah. No. I don't think I've changed tremendously since I was since I was 20.
No.
Some people have like
noticeable difference.
Changes.
Like completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was 18, there'd probably be a little difference. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, we would all look different. We all look like children when we were 18.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, for sure. That's all right, though.
I still remember. Oh, my God. Do you remember when Sam did the, what was it? Midnight Train to Georgia?
No, what is
rendition
that?
When he was in Homecoming, when he was running for Homecoming King. He dressed in drag.
Yeah. Yeah.
And me, Stefan, and, oh, God, what was his name? We're up there and we were the Pips. Yeah. I bring that up because a picture showed up the other day of that.
Oh, really?
And I was like, yeah, we look like children in this.
Well, yeah, we fucking were. I still have like some pictures like my mom saved. I look stupid young 10 years ago. I'm all right with the knowledge I've gotten though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 20s suck because it's your first time doing literally everything.
Well, being an adult.
Yeah.
I say this was also another topic that me and Lisa talked about. We need to start treating kids when they're a little younger like adults more.
Yeah.
The problem was like we tell these kids to do everything until 18 and then we're like, good luck. Figure it out. Like
you have been trained.
Yeah, exactly. Like you've got this, right? Hey, you want to go live like 4 hours away from everyone that ever told you what to do and figure it out for yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents did a good job with that. They were not like, they were like, look, you don't be stupid. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. You see, that was a level of like, that was communication.
Yeah.
My mom was just flat out, you're not doing that.
Yeah.
If you tell a kid not to do something.
Well, I never had a curfew discussion because I was like, yeah, no, John's gonna have to go home like way before I would ever have to go home.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't even have to, I was like, yeah, I'll be home.
I was home every time though, on time.
It's true.
Yeah.
We
I was.
not always sober, but we were definitely on time.
Yeah, not always sober. She's crazy. That woman would fight me. She'd go, I'm like, can I just stay overnight? And she goes,
No.
You're not going to stay over because then you're going to drink. And I'm like, but everybody's going to be drinking. And she goes, well, you're not, and you're coming home. And I'm like, well, then I'm just going to drink.
Well, then I'm just going to drink
and
now.
drive. I'm just going to drink, and then I'm going to drive home. She goes, no, you're not with my car. And then I'm like, all right, I won't drink. And she goes, yeah, you're not going to drink. I'm like, fuck, I'm totally going to go drink.
Yeah.
It was a level of trust.
Yeah.
Granted, like, my mom had like this communication. Your parents talk to you when you went off to school. They're like, hey, don't be dumb, right?
Yeah.
My mom that generation was raised on the news. Yeah. Paranoia, dude. Literally, like, my mom thought, like, if I took a step out of the house, I was gonna die.
Oh my God, yeah, you've ruined your life.
Gonna die.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, literally thinking the worst. And that, like, kind of scared me a little bit. I'm like, is the world really that scary? Yeah. You know? And then I got out there and I'm like, oh, no, it's not. I'm going to experience everything that they didn't let me experience. But still, like, we need to start treating the kids with a little more responsibility.
Yeah.
You know?
Earlier on.
Exactly. Like, give them a couple more choices to make.
Well, yeah, I mean, and this is like known, like, you have to, like, kids have to have some level of agency over their life. Otherwise, they never learn restraint on their own.
Yes.
And they, like, if you protect them from the consequences of their actions all the time, it's like, well, then they never experience consequences of their own actions that they tie back to something they directly did.
And then when they do encounter that, they have no idea how to cope with it.
Yeah.
Which is dangerous.
Yeah.
Then you have an entire generation of kids who don't know how to deal with their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah, you have the pendulum swing. Yeah, I mean, well, but like in college, there are a lot of kids that like immediately were like freedom, and then they were drunk all the time, and it's like, wow, they're not even going to make it through like the first semester.
Yeah, that was me. Well, I made it a year and a half.
You made it, yeah,
a year and a half.
But there was a lot of kids. Like, I remember, I was like, oh boy, man.
Yeah, I knew a lot of kids that just failed out after one semester.
Yeah, and they were like done.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah,
but they weren't prepared for that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, there's going to be a paradigm shift.
Yeah, we're already there.
Yeah. I mean, everything, the way we deal with technology, the way we deal with aging gracefully.
Yes, gracefully.
The youth, politics, all that shit. Like, it's all changing right now. And I just really want the old people to get out of the fucking way.
Yeah.
Because I highly doubt that the older generations are going to do anything about saving the planet.
Yeah.
Not going to do that.
Yeah. Man.
Like, people like...
Well, because it's easier to just say, it's not real.
That's what my dad says.
It's not real.
Flat out, not real.
Nah, it's not real.
No pollution.
I'm going to go take a nap. Yeah.
Yeah. No trash in the ocean. Or no, this is the best thing. This is what he said to me. He goes, well, what about China and India? And I'm like, when you say something like that, imagine a house full of kids, right? And you're the oldest, right? Or one of the kids does something and then you get in trouble, right? And you go to your mom and you go, yeah, well, they did that over there. You sound like a kid.
Yeah.
Like, if you're literally going to blame other countries for pollution, like, this isn't like a game. You know, like, if America is really... If you talk about patriotism in the older generations, they love America, right? Yeah. If America really is so great, then you should be setting an example for cleaning up the planet and then worrying about the youth, right?
Yeah.
Me and Lisa touched on that because I'm talking about, like, the ideas of my third book, right?
Okay, yeah.
Those are two ideas that, in order to clean up the institutions of man, like outside of business, industry, econ, media, whatever, it's cleaning the planet and teaching the kids. Those are the two things, because that literally equals the future. You know? Like, everything else that we need to work on can come after, like, at least getting a foundation on those two subjects.
Yeah, the cleaning's hard, though. I think the cleaning is harder than the kids thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're on a train, and the train is moving, and, like, you cannot stop the train, right?
Yeah.
But, like, you can, like, change the course of the train. Whereas, like, you can implement, I mean, I'm not saying that's easier either, but, like, you can implement, like, different ways of, like, teaching that can organically happen. But in order to, like, slow pollution and carbon emissions and stuff down, you have to, like, re-engineer, like, society. And, like, you have to create, like, brand new incentives in capitalistic society and like, quasi-capitalistic societies. Where, like, it's, like, oh my God, we may not succeed. In 150 years, like, we may be screwed. We have no idea.
We may be, but the millennial generation specifically, very in tune to that.
Yeah.
And in 10 years, once we get a little more power, like, I'm just trying to be positive. Like, you know me, I'm like Mr. Cynic and Mr. Negative. Right, but like I have to
thinking positively about people dying off.
Okay, that's literally what came up in the previous podcast. But you know, I didn't. Lisa looked at me like, I can't believe you just fucking said that. That's what she didn't say it, but she looked at me, and I was like,
I mean, no, nobody wishes that, but the truth is, there's more consciousness for that. There's like a better acceptance of that reality,
of course,
the younger people.
So at
least I think so. They're statistically speaking.
Well, we have to stay positive about it.
Yeah,
it might seem impossible, but at the same time, it's like there are things that,
and then Elon Musk is trying to get us to Mars, so we also got that going for us. We got the total wild card going for us,
dude. He's a fucking G.
He's also like nuts. Like, the amount he works is like,
but like,
oh my God,
how many really amazing, fantastic, genius people aren't crazy?
Yeah, I mean, they're all crazy.
Yeah, they're all wild as fuck. It's great.
But his have you ever like read anything about him and like his work and like how he lit like the efficiency of people like him and like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, like it's beyond. They have like all of the stars aligning of like ingenuity, work ethic, and like insane amount of energy and drive. Yeah,
but it also comes at the expense of like personal relations.
Well, yeah. So I mean, something has to give, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, no one, if there are people that like Elon Musk is like the most wealthiest man alive right now, but like none of it. Who the fuck would want to be him? Like, that sounds terrible.
I think people like, oh, he's got lots of money.
Lots
that's all they think. And then they're like, really? How about we run you through his day for a week? Yeah. Like his schedule.
Most people wouldn't make a week.
Yeah, they'd be like, well, he's not even enjoying the money. He's literally just working.
They're like, yeah,
that's literally what he's doing. But that's just a crazy work ethic. I believe in him, though. I do.
If he gets us to Mars, yeah.
Either he gets us to Mars or he lays such a fucking fantastic foundation that it happens when he's gone.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to settle for not getting to Mars.
Yeah.
For as crazy as he is, you gotta give him that.
Maybe what'll happen is like, we'll be like, shit, we've destroyed the planet. We just fire the youth off to Mars. We're like, go!
Genius.
Do better.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
I can see that happening. They've already made a movie about that.
There's plenty of movies.
For sure. Yeah. But it's real life. Is this real life? It totally is.
Yep.
It totally is. You're not just on nitrous at the dentist anymore. That's an old video.
All right. How are we doing on time?
We're good. I think we're at
we're good. All right. We got a couple more minutes.
Yeah, we're at we got some time.
All right. Is there any other topics on your mind? Any questions?
Oh. Well, sometimes I like to give updates on the whole like book thing.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just filed for my articles of organization with the state of Illinois.
Okay.
Right? So I'm getting my business started.
Excellent.
Which is great because I am going to need help with the hybrid publishing. That's a route for the self-publishing. It's like a company helps you like with the book design, the editing, and a little bit of the marketing, but you keep more of the profits. The thing with a traditional publisher is like if I were to go to like Penguin Publishing or one of the other big ones.
Exactly who I thought of.
Yeah, the big one. You know, you don't own the rights to your book anymore, right?
Okay, yeah.
But it's got that print. It's got that fucking penguin on it, right? Yeah. So you're taking a small portion of your profits, but they're pushing your book. Right? That's traditional publishing route. You also need a literary agent who's going to feed your manuscript to the publishing company. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of steps
whole
like
industry,
that.
Yeah.
Exactly. The self-publishing route is like you can literally design a book and put it on the ebook store, on the Kindle store. And you can contact a company and they have these services called print on demand, POD, which is literally like people buy your book on like Amazon and they print a single copy instead of like doing a 1,000 book run.
Yeah.
Putting it
in just in time.
Exactly. Yeah. Now there's hybrid publishing companies that like help you out with the marketing a little bit, the design and all that crap, right? But their packages run like $4,000 to $5,000, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want any money. Like if people were to like loan me money, I don't want it coming through my personal bank account. I'm a bookkeeper, right? So like for me to like, I have to do this correctly.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yes.
So that's the first step with that. The book's complete. After the developmental and copy editing, it reads phenomenal.
Good.
Yeah, it reads a lot better than just some fucking crazy philosopher. So, because sometimes I write a little like archaic.
Do you let your flow of conscious just take over sometimes?
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
Lisa says it's crazy because she's read like I have so much writing just scattered or like just pages of shit everywhere, right? And she says it's crazy because in some of my spirals or some of the pages I write on, I'll literally take a page and I will fill it completely without a single mistake or without stopping.
Wow.
And that's like what I'll do, like front and back, right?
Yeah. Shit.
So trying to put that into a book, sometimes even though I can do that, it doesn't mean that it's easy to read.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's just me blurbing out my consciousness. Yeah. So the guy who did the developmental and copy editing is what they call it. He changed words around, sentence structure, just like made it easier to read. Right? So that's done. I need like a couple people to still read it.
Right.
Because I sent like the original copy out to some
So that's
people.
the one I have.
No.
Right? No, there's mine the final.
No.
Okay.
I have a better one.
Okay.
If you wanted to read that, I do.
Send me the newest one.
Yes, because I
start getting through that.
I need honest opinions from people on it. You know, because like it's nice to have people who are just like, oh, this is really good, yeah. And like you ask for constructive criticism, and they go, oh no, it's just really good. Like I need someone to like kind of shoot it to me straight, right?
Yes.
You know,
is there a way? Does this exist in the realm of like releasing books where like? Because the thing with like friends and family also is like they may not be your audience.
Yes, but
right?
But that's why I'm going to be asking a couple people that like. Well, I'm going to ask an unbiased opinion on it.
Okay.
You know, and I'll be honest, like I'm going to have Will read it, and Will is probably.
Oh, he's going to just
he's one of them. Even though he's my best friend, he's probably one of the most blunt people I've ever met.
No, you're going to get more than an honest.
Exactly, which is what I'm looking for. You know, so that's where I'm at with that. I have to go to the library this weekend and start working on the second book. I have 40 pages of that written, but I need to like keep outlining the next like 100.
Okay. What's your methodology for writing? Do you have a ritual?
It depends what kind of writing I do.
Okay.
So I've actually been a little overwhelmed with how many different types of writing I do. So I have my poetry, right? Sometimes I just write poetry. Other times I write raps, like with lo-fi in the background,
Yep.
right? Other times I journal. Other times I write like a philosophical essay. This next book I'm working on is an actual step-by-step self-help book.
Okay.
So it's none of that stuff. It's more logical, clear-cut, like...
So you're like talking to the reader.
Exactly. Okay. Well, with this book too that's out...
Because what I've read so far, you're very much like speaking to the...
He fixed that though.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, he also said he changed some things around because I want people to read it from the first perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But even if you don't relate to everything in that book, I want... Like, it's only 88 pages, right?
Right. Like,
there could be a paragraph in that book and people read it as I.
And it resonates.
Yeah. That's all I care about, you know? Like, if that works for people, I don't want... If they don't relate to something, then yeah, read it from the third person. Mm-hmm. Read it like you're reading my story, right? He also said, like, I don't have any personal experience in the book at all. Like, it might be my thoughts... Mm-hmm. But there's nothing personal about it, like about my life. I didn't really understand what he meant by that, but he means like instances, places, people, anything like that. It's literally just like my thoughts on the matter.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's not like there's no like story.
Nope.
Like this is a
memoir. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Or this is an anecdote I've got. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's how because I got through the prologue and that's what I was getting from it too, is it's more of like a abstract.
It is, yeah. It's more of an abstract take on like a self-help book.
Yes.
I'd like to think. And the prologue is way different from the rest of the book.
Okay.
I'll tell you right now. Yeah, it's way different. Okay. Like the prologue's like an actual prologue. The actual writing that you're going to see in the rest of the book is completely different.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll send you that copy.
Yeah, send it over. So so when you don't like, have you ever done like a go somewhere to write and just like me and my bag are leaving
the library.
Weekend. Okay.
I do. I bring a spiral like camping when I was in school. Like go to the different places on Grand Valley's campus, out in nature. You know. Sometimes I just clear off this desk because like that's the reason why I like this big desk.
It's a sweet desk.
Yeah, and it was like from IKEA. Yeah, it's easy. Like I'll actually like move my keyboard and mouse and push everything back, and I'll have the whole table here. And then I get into a zone like that.
That's cool. Yeah. Have you ever read about Stephen King?
No, I should. I know I should.
Okay, so he had like a cocaine and alcohol problem.
And really, I didn't even know that.
No, like I'm gonna try to not spoil too much, but like he doesn't remember reading or writing some of his books.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He
would like do coke and drink and write and black out.
I have a binder. It's like this thick, full of like
cocaine.
Whatever it was, you know. It was from the time between the ages of 19 and 21. Gotcha, if that resonates, yeah. So, I don't remember writing a lot of it. I don't. But I read through it and I'm like,
jeez.
I'm like, wow. That's fucked up.
But it's got to feel good to be like, well, I'm not there anymore.
Yeah, obviously. But I also like look back at it like for inspiration a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, because there are still like some pieces, in my opinion, there's some pieces of genius in there. Mm-hmm. Like I can't take all of it because it's very riddled with hate and sadness, you know, but there are like little blurbs of like hope in there, you know, and I'll take like a line or two and I'll transfer it to a new piece of paper and like expand on it.
Yep.
You know,
that's cool.
Yeah. So like
that's sweet.
There's different methods to my writing. Like I have like 650 notes in my Apple iPhone, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's just a lot. Either they're bars or like I'll write an essay really quick or whatever.
Just when inspiration hits,
boom, right there.
Do you get like a jolt of excitement? Like how does that work?
Yes, okay. I get excited.
Like, oh my God, an idea.
So yes, Yeah, exactly. If there's lo-fi playing, it's definitely some type of rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
If something happened in my life that I need to write about, that I feel somebody can relate to and get them through a tough point in life, then I write about it. There's just a whole bunch of different... I think Lisa's home.
Lisa!
What up?
Ding, ding, ding.
I actually made the timer go off. What's up?
We talked about the youth. We saved the youth again.
We did save the youth.
We did. It's the second time. We couldn't save the file from the meteor, but we saved the youth.
Yeah, because the meteor came out of the sky and completely destroyed everything. But we saved the youth instead.
How was your day?
She had a long ass day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you just getting home from work?
She left at like...
7:36 train.
Oh my God.
7:36, yeah.
It's my sister's birthday.
Yeah.
I went and celebrated and then I went to work.
Wow.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, I had to go in the office today.
Same. I do a lot of my little like notes and writing at the office though too. Or just anywhere.
Just anywhere.
Yeah, literally I'll just... And here, we went to the library. We started going to the library in like October last year, or maybe before that. And I remember I had originally like 900 notes on my phone, right? And that was actually where a lot of the thoughts for this first book came in, and another book I have, and I've just sorted them out, and I got my notes down to 350 from going to the library twice, right? Now I'm back up to 650 again. So I actually have to go to the library this Sunday, and I have to start organizing them again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just vomit it and then consolidate
Yes.
it. And then,
yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's crazy. That is the process, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's good you're not doing coke and drinking. And
Yeah,
Coming
that
up with
writing wasn't really productive. It was destructive.
yeah. But read about Stephen King. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah, I was going to look up...
I never knew. I had no idea
I had no idea until you told me.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That man is wild.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, wild isn't like... He's written like... How many...
I think he's one of the most successful authors.
I think he is.
Yeah, he is.
He's got to be. I don't think anyone's...
Ever.
The only person I can think of like at touching him would be like J.K. Rowling.
Maybe.
You know?
John Grisham.
Who's that?
Well, he must not be up there then.
No, probably not. Oh, whoops. Fuck. What else are you doing tonight? You just going home?
Let me see. Yeah. Drive home. I'm working on a data engineering course,
Okay.
online course, so
Oh, that's fun.
I can start. Yeah, it's mostly to like start using Python to do a lot of the
Nice.
parts of my job. Like I already know how to do like these parts of my job, but I like want to start using actual raw code, like coding it in an actual like language.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool though.
Because then you can do that literally anywhere without there's a thing called vendor lock. So like if you use specific tools and you know how to use those tools, it's like if you go somewhere else where they don't have those tools, it's like crap.
Oh, okay.
You got to like learn a new tool.
Yeah.
But if you like learn a coding,
Python.
like a language, like
Yeah.
Python,
Like a coding language.
or like R or something, like you can. It's open, so you can literally just like engineer whatever.
Well, that's good that you got like something to like learn, look forward to.
It's a
you
lot.
know?
It's
I bet.
but it's fun. I already know like how to do the stuff. Now it's just learning the syntax for how to do it in
For sure.
in an actual like language.
I think I'm supposed to go to the gym. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to work out when I get home. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do upper body.
Fuck. Yeah, no legs. Nope. Fucking done. Knee is toast.
All right, listeners, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for tuning into our fucking amazing conversation.
Yeah.
And we will definitely keep you posted with other meteor sightings next
Yeah,
time.
keep your heads down.
Please stay away from the windows too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're done. Feel free, motherfuckers. Peace.
That's it.